Welcome to another episode of Buzz Buzz. We got our special guest Tanner with us. He's rocking the merchandise as you saw. We got Brandon, we got Tanner, we got your boy Jacob. We got a lot to get into. Super football's over. Football's over, guys. It's a little depressing. It's a little depressing.
I can't wait for September.
Like I don't know what was more depressing, the way like Super Bowl ended or like that Super Bowl's over. I don't know which one was worse.
I think it's depressing that the back-to-back Super Bowls have been disappointments.
Yes, they have been. They've been blowouts. Getting right into the Super Bowl talk, we had Seattle versus New England, and the score doesn't indicate how much Seattle pretty much dominated the game.
I think the score pretty much says it pretty good.
29-13. Drake May pretty much turned into Sam Darnold. Pretty much. 2 turnovers, a fumble. He was seeing ghosts out there. Seattle, a.k.a. Keeps Lee, gave them the nickname Dark Knight. That's their name on defensive now. But overall, like, Brandon, what was your thoughts on the Super Bowl? Obviously, it was a field goal game, pretty much.
I think they got the MVP wrong. I think it should have been Jacoby Myers from Seattle. I think it should have been their kicker. Kicked the most field goals, made field goals in Super Bowl history with 5. I think it should have been him. He outscored the Patriots by himself.
17-13, by the way. He scored 17 points.
But I get giving it to the running back,
Kenneth Walker
the third. I understand you can't give it to a kicker that should have, but that's cool. That's dandy. But it just goes to show Seattle had a gauntlet of a season, of a schedule to get there, and you saw the Patriots' easy cakewalk schedule come back and bite them in the ass. If they were never battle tested, the only team that battle tested them was Buffalo. When they were up, when they whooped Buffalo, they came back, got Buffalo, and then were big, and Buffalo came back and got them in the second matchup.
Yeah, in the regular season.
The inexperience there and the quarterback, it's just going to show you Drake May is not on that level yet. He's not a top 10 quarterback. He's not the guy, but it also goes to show the discrepancy of what a great defense can do versus what a solid defense can be in the biggest game. And the Patriots are going to be back right in the playoffs, though. They have another easy schedule this year, but I don't think they're going to have the same type of success. It's hard to replicate it. I think the Seattle will be able to replicate this. And Sam Darnold, in my opinion, won 6 big games this year. Couldn't do it last year. Did it on the biggest stage.
Did not turn the ball over one time in the postseason.
At all in the postseason.
Not one turnover.
Which is the first time that has ever happened since, I think, 98.
Because they led the regular season in turnovers.
They were the second most turnover team.
At 28. So to not turn the ball over in the postseason was very, very critical for them. Because everybody was sitting there waiting for Sam Darnold to make the mistake, and he never made the mistake.
And Sam Darnold is the epitome of what you want your quarterback to be. He's the game manager. And this is the day and age I think we're more into. We're done with the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, the Big Bens, the Aaron Rodgers that are elevate them. There's only a handful of them out there. Right now, currently, we have Josh, we have Mahomes. That is it. You need everybody else. You have to build a team around, and you have to pay franchise superstars, Josh and Mahomes. You can pay them $55, $60, $70 million, and they can lead a depleted roster to the promised land. Well, Mahomes, we've seen it. We've seen Josh get his team always to the playoffs. Unfortunately, they fall short. But you see what you pay a solid quarterback in Sam Darnold. I think it's like 40 million this year. It was 35, 40 million was he got paid this year, it was great money, but you have another 30 million to spread throughout the roster to help keep him looking better, which I think the league needs to take a look at. They need to take a page out of that playbook, which I think the Colts will do with Danny Dimes this offseason, give him the same type of contract, and the league needs to stop overpaying quarterbacks. It won't happen, but they need to.
Yeah. Overall, Tanner, in your opinion, based on what Brandon said about the Patriots, do you see them? Brandon's already said he doesn't see them repeating the success. Where do you see the Patriots go from? What do you think the Patriots need to do as an organization to try to get back to the Super Bowl next year?
We definitely need to get Drake Mason more weapons because clearly Stephon Diggs ain't cut.
Well, no, when Max was really your best wide receiver, Hunter Henry.
Collins,
They have a solid running game. I think their O-line's fine. And yes, they had 2. They were the first organization to start 2 rookies on the left side in Super Bowl history. They're rookies, and people's flaming them.
I don't really care about the O-line. To me, that's a null and void. nobody gives the quote unquote great quarterbacks, I love the Mahomes,
So
any kind of leeway because his
so
O-line was played
so
against Tampa.
going off that, and you can both whichever one you want to answer. What is your thoughts on the excuses being made for Drake May about the O line? He had rookies, his O line, two rookies on the left side. Or do you like the excuses already being made for Drake May? Do you like that based off like you say your Patrick, your Josh?
I don't move the goalpost. The goalpost is set by the best guy that's currently in the league, and that's Patrick Mahomes. And if he's held to this standard,
Okay.
everybody else will be held to this standard as well.
What do you got? Go ahead.
I mean, no one's going to make excuses for him. Like, what's your point? Mahomes wasn't bitching and moaning about Tampa when he was getting fucking hammered every
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing, but I'm saying like your mainstream's already making the excuse as well. Will Campbell had a fracture in his knee. It came out after the Super Bowl. He had some type
Sam
of
Darnold had no oblique injury.
Sam had the oblique injury that he didn't make.
It also came out that Drake May was getting shots in his shoulder, and then now he doesn't even need surgery on it. But then you have Mahomes out there on one fucking foot running 30 yards against Philadelphia and getting a Super Bowl ring.
Why do you think the goalpost gets moved from quarterback to quarterback? So like we'll use Patrick because he's best in the league. Why do you think the goalpost gets moved?
Because he's been so successful so far. Like, he's the top guy. He doesn't get the excuses, apparently.
So why does everybody else get the excuses? If that is what you said, the president is set. How do we move it?
Well, if you're the media, what else are we going to have to talk about? If the goalpost is set at Patrick Mahomes, and we'll say Josh Allen, and we'll even give Joe Burrow his love and Lamar Jackson the love there too.
Okay.
We'll say those are the premium guys out of the whole NFL. And we throw Matthew Stafford in there too, the reigning MVP.
Yes, absolutely.
But those dudes, I mean, Josh Allen gets a little bit of excuse, and Joe Burrow gets a little bit of excuse as well. But what else are they going to talk about? We can't say, well, Drake May flamed out. He didn't perform great against teams above 500. Well, he did. Well, then we have to argue about something. So, like, whether or not the mainstream media believes it or not, they have to argue about something. So, like,
no.
Well, maybe it was the all-along. Well, he didn't have skill weapons. Okay, but nobody ever makes the counter argument of, well, what about Josh? Josh hasn't for 3 years hasn't had Stephon Diggs, hasn't had a true number one.
No.
Mahomes has made deep playoff runs with backup O linemen and not a true number one guy. Won a Super Bowl with
Juju as number
one. And with Kadarius Toney, and now he's out of the league.
Yeah.
But so people don't care. People, if you don't move the goalpost, I guess the mainstream media has nothing else to talk about. The Super Bowl really wasn't all that talked about though either.
No,
it was a very dull 2 weeks of like very little debate. They were more talking about the offseason and what the coaches are going to do, or these bigger name quarterbacks, how they're going to prepare for next season.
That's fair. So staying on the Patriots topic, so we're going to go the regular season and the postseason. So the regular season total points per game was 28.8 in the regular season. Okay. In the postseason, 16.8. Mind you, they had the lowest points per game total to a Super Bowl since the St. Louis Rams from 1979 at 18 points per game. But they pretty much averaged 16.8. And then their total yards per game, regular season, 379. Postseason, 291. Passing yards per game, 250. Regular season, 173.8. Now, they did face top defenses in the playoffs, but they did not face offenses that could, obviously they faced Justin Herbert. Nobody believed that the Chargers, we know how we feel about Herbert and the Chargers offense. We don't got to talk about it. CJ Stroud, you could have placed any other quarterback in that system, and they probably maybe win the game. And then you go to the Broncos, obviously a backup quarterback who hadn't thrown a pass in 3 years. So they didn't face no credible offense until they got to the Super Bowl, and they found out, well, this is what happens when you have all your guys on the other end of the ball. So what does that tell you about, obviously we know the schedule that they face, but what is this, like I said, you said more weapons. What do you think New England needs to do? They have coaching. They have
coaching.
You
just said just goes to show that regular season and
postseason,
it's a different.
This is a drastic drop. Drastic drop here.
Well, the postseason is a different beast. Like the Buffalo has learned that quite well against the Chiefs. Buffalo might beat Kansas City in regular season, but postseason is another beast, and it's a tick up. There's another level you have to get to. And this AFC run for any team that made it there was a very watered down AFC playoff run once Buffalo got knocked out, in my opinion, because Josh Allen was the only star quarterback that was in it. Drake May's not a star quarterback. He's outside the top 10, in my opinion. But it just goes to show that the Patriots defense was considered elite in the AFC. And then you go and you face a star quarterback on the other side, and you not as good as you thought you were. But this also was a learning stone because the Patriots are young. They got to remember they were a losing franchise. They
Yes.
were losing the past couple years. Mike Vrabel came in, turned it around with an easy schedule. Got Drake May looking pretty good. And the Patriots, as long as they can build off it, they'll be fine. But just goes to show they weren't ready for the biggest
Yeah, no.
stage. And they lucked out
This
on an
also
easy
puts
playoff
Drake
run.
May in uncomfortable territory. So quarterbacks that have gone to the Super Bowl in their second season and lost have never actually returned to the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy's never been back to the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow, Colton Kaepernick, Dan Marino, and now you add Drake May. So
And overall, in totality, out of all of them, quarterbacks that get there and to lose have never been back, except Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen
Jalen
Hurts.
Hurts, he broke that curse. But reminding you, bringing off this, that Seattle was the first team to go without a turnover. The Vikings actually led the league in turnovers at 30. Seattle was at 28. So
Yep,
that's
like I said, they were
his
second.
former team.
I bet they did.
His former team.
Obviously,
Question becomes now,
Shoot.
obviously you take both these teams, we go into the offseason. Which team has the likelihood to actually have more success going into next year? I think we'd all agree it would be Seattle, right?
100%.
I mean, you look at
It's the
obviously,
Patriots.
you think because
To have to replicate the same type of success. Now, not Super Bowl bound, but I'm saying the same success of having a winning record and fighting for the number one seed.
well, I see why Brandon says that. I know
They
why
have
you
the-
why you say
they
that.
have the
Seattle.
easiest run.
They have the easiest run schedule.
If we're
Yeah.
trying to say the best, which one of these two teams had the most likelihood to get back to the Super Bowl, then yes, it's Seattle. But like to have to duplicate the same success of winning
New
and being
England.
as looking as dominant will be New England, because I think we all could agree that they will be bringing in more offensive weapons. They
We
will
also
be,
have to
they should be
remember
getting
too,
better.
Tanner.
But they
Seattle
have the-
lost offensive coordinator. Potentially could lose some guys that they might not be able to pay. Potentially,
potentially
New
but-
England's going to stay intact. They're going to be
Well,
bringing people
Seattle-
in.
Seattle's going to be back. The OC will be
No-
gone, but the head coach, I think the head coach is an actual head coach. He is the dude. He is a head coach.
I love that man.
You could put him up there with the Andy Reid's and the Sean McVays. Like he's a coach, just coach. Put up there with Kyle Shanahan. Like he's a coach. He can do it all, even though he is a defensive minded head coach. It's the side of the ball he lays on. But when you're talking about who can get back to the playoffs easier and potentially win the division, it's New England. Like they have Buffalo and they have a whole new regime in there, but Josh Allen's still there, so it's going to be a dogfight. Seattle got the Niners, and they have the Rams. Good luck.
So speaking of Seattle, the amount of time that the Seattle Seahawks trailed this postseason was the fifth lowest time trailing by a Super Bowl champion in NFL history, trailing the 1991 Washington, 97 Cowboys, 73 Dolphins, and 71 Cowboys of all do not trail for a single second of their postseason. Seattle only trailed for a minute, 35 seconds in this postseason run to a Super Bowl
Was it
champion.
against the Rams?
I believe it was against the Rams. Yep, just
Matthew
the Rams.
Stafford's also the only one
He balled out against Seattle.
that balled out in all three games against Seattle. And that's just how I knew the Super Bowl was going to be a wrap. Like Sam Darnold went toe to toe with the MVP Matthew Stafford, and they came away with the win. But I kind of want to move on to the MVP talk. So it was supposed to be between Drake May and Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford got it by one first place vote. It was 24-23. But then we moved down to where Josh Allen, I think, got one vote, and Justin Herbert got 2 votes.
No, Josh got 2 votes. Herbert got 1 vote.
Okay, so we have 3 first place votes that went to guys that weren't really in the conversation.
I didn't know Herbert could get a vote like that.
Well, we all thought it was a 2-horse race there. Who was going to get it? Thankfully, we got to look out that those people didn't want to be participating who won the MVP, because if Drake May got the MVP
and performed like that in the Super Bowl, oh my God. Like, think about that. Like, imagine he won Super Bowl MVP, he won regular season MVP, and then laid an egg like that in the Super Bowl. Now, I know people are going to look at the stats. He threw for 295. No, those were garbage yards in literally the fourth quarter.
He has the most fourth quarter passing.
I think
yards.
entering the fourth quarter, he had 84 passing yards. I believe.
He had like 45 yards.
So it wasn't great. Like, I can only imagine the mind-boggling things that would have happened if he would have won regular season MVP over Matthew Stafford. And there's a lot of people out there that still believe he should have been regular season MVP. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think they got it right. Matthew Stafford should have been regular season MVP.
It should not have been that close.
No.
It was the second closest is what, 2000? Three?
It was 2003 when Manning and
Oh my god, like that was
um,
crazy.
Steve McNair, they shared it.
Oh,
We had co-MVPs in I think 03, 04
Oh
Like,
man.
with
I don't
Manning
know
and
what these
Steve McNair.
voters saw that I didn't see. But
That's what I'm saying. Like I think so many people get held up on like the most valuable. Well, the most valuable always will be a quarterback, and we have to start moving off of that and start awarding players that are balling out. Like I feel like Jonathan Taylor should have had a lot more talk. Obviously, the Colts fell off, so that's okay. But CMC should have got first place votes. Without CMC, which was
Where the
offense,
fuck were the 49ers been?
because they had Mac and Cheese, and then Brock Purdy finally got healthy. And
I think like
but
you could
CMC
even
should
say
have
like
gotten
take
more
Patrick
votes.
off the Chiefs. We're a lottery team. Like we probably don't.
Well,
I don't even know if we win a game.
We saw it.
we
Like-
are.
we
saw
went-
that.
like,
We are.
that's
We're
what
in the
I'm saying, like,
lottery.
MVP
Okay,
means
like-
most valuable. So like, what does that player mean? to your
Tanner,
team?
would you agree or disagree that we need the names and the credentials of people that vote in every league?
100%.
They need to
Because,
stop
like,
hiding.
At some point, we got to question: why are we voting for these players?
Why are we voting for Justin Herbert?
Well,
And
that's
granted,
it.
he came out and said why, and I still didn't agree with the reason.
Well, I mean, like I could sitting here now watching Drake May go against an actual team above 500 on the biggest stage. If I had to, I can understand giving a vote to Justin Herbert over Drake May.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert had a depleted line all season
That's
long.
fair.
He has one weapon. Drake May had one weapon. Justin Herbert had not a greatest defense. Not as good as the head coaches, I think, as Mike Vrabel is for the Patriots.
Mike Vrabel showed a lot to us this year.
I don't think he showed any more than what he always showed us. He's a solid coach.
You don't think
I
don't
don't
think
think
he
he
changed
showed
your
it.
opinion from when he was in Tennessee? Not even a little bit.
Tennessee was making a playoff run.
He made the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs with Derrick Henry as his running back. So no, it just if you were somebody that questioned what type of coach he is, I think he answered it. I never questioned that he wasn't a great coach. He made Tennessee look great with a wide receiver playing quarterback.
Not to mention Ryan Tannehill.
That's what I'm saying, Ryan
Ryan Tannehill got paid to hand the ball to Derrick Henry. So.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I never questioned how good of a head coach he can be. That's why I thought when New England got him as their head coach, I figured they were going to be good this year. But I just think like we need to know who's voting for this. We need to know who in the media, where are you located at.
That's
and
my
there's
problem. Why
bias.
are we so scared to put their names out? Like that's my problem. Like because you changed so much in the history of the game. You control so much in this game, but yet we don't know who you are, and that's a problem for me.
I also think there should be a stint. You can only be a voter for so long to stop voter fatigue.
Yeah.
But moving on for the rest of the honors, I think let us know you guys think if there should be you should only be allowed 10, 15 years. That's solid to be a vote getter to be able to vote who get their awards. But moving on to NFL honors,
Give it to
the very first ever Protector of the Year award, shadow of doubt, should have been unanimous, was Joe Thuney of the Bears.
Shout out Joe Thuney,
The
man.
left guard / left tackle. And then moving on to Walter Payton Man of the Year, Bobby Wagner. Shout out Bobby Wagner. Comeback Player of the Year, which is to me a little kind of confused because he played last year, but whatever.
Christian McCaffrey.
With CMC. Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel. Any problems with that one?
No.
No?
No, I don't have a problem with that.
Turn around the water.
I
to
think-
a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
That's fair. Okay, so then moving on to Defensive Rookie of the Year is Carson Swizzen.
I think Kobe Bryant should have had a play in that for what he was able.
Who?
to. Kobe Bryant for Seattle.
Okay, that's fair.
The way he played, he literally was doing the outrageous things for Seattle.
Right, but you say that, but I don't think you understand Carson's stats.
I honestly, I will give you that because
Well, that's not
Didn't
quite the
play
right
a
guy.
whole lot
I
of,
need-
you
that,
know.
dude, that dude's an NASCAR. Hang on. Give me one beat. We'll move on real quick so you guys can talk about
offensive rookie
Offensive
of the year.
Rookie of the Year. It went to the Panthers, McMillan.
McMillan, wide receiver, 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
Who New England had the chance to take, but they took Will Campbell instead.
And Campbell did not look good in that Super Bowl.
He did not look good in the Super Bowl. Again, I think people need to understand Will Campbell was a guard coming out of LSU that they put at left tackle. So people have to understand that's a difference on the offensive line. But do I think Will Campbell can handle the left tackle? I do think people need to understand he's 22 years old. He's going to get better. But McLaren, Rookie of the Year, getting Offensive Rookie of the Year, 1,000 yards with Bryce Young as your quarterback. Oh boy,
Who does it say more about? Does it say more about Bryce Young or McMillan?
I think McMillan, to be honest.
Kind of elevated Bryce Young.
Yeah, to me, think about where Bryce Young's been the last few years, bench, and not having a guy. You got a stable guy that I would like to see continue to get better. I need to see this again next year, obviously, because we're so quick to crown somebody in this day and age. Oh, he had 1,000 yards, like he's right. We got to see it again. We need to see that same production.
So back on the defensive rookie of the year.
Okay, give it to
and
me.
I was kind of with you. I didn't know anything about this guy
That's
outside
fair.
that the Browns defense was solid with defensive player of the year Myles Garrett, who got the sack
Just
record.
outshine, pretty much.
But Carson, he had 156 total tackles, 67 solo, and 2.5 sacks and 2 interceptions.
Okay.
So he had, I think he was either first or second most total tackles in
That's
the
fair.
entire league.
I
so
do-
like almost like the dude balled out.
I
And he was
do
a-
know
Outshine by
and he was a
defensive player.
second round pick too.
that, like I said, Cleveland hit
Well,
their
really,
draft picks
he was a
very
33rd
well.
overall pick.
But
in
I
the
do
second
know
round,
you
so.
did say Myles Garrett got defensive player of the year, broke the sack record.
But
Myles Garrett and
I
him,
don't think he really broke the sack record.
you know,
I agree with Michael Shanahan. I think Michael Shanahan is the true owner of the
or
sack
is Jared
record.
Allen the true?
No, that's right. That's who
Jared
I meant.
Allen.
Jared Allen is the true owner of the sack record.
Because
He got-
they took a sack away from him.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, look that shit up because he sacked. Damn, who the hell did he sack?
Wasn't it Brett?
No, what? No, that was straight hands.
Jared Allen. I think it's Aaron Rodgers.
I think he
sacked. He sacked Aaron Rodgers. He fumbled the ball, picked it up, fell down. Jared Allen touched him, and then they put it down as just a normal tackle for loss. They didn't give him
the sack. So
which would have given him the actual official record, which would have been a half more than what Myles Garrett got.
Yeah.
So and there would have been less games played as well.
yep.
So I think the true owner of it is Jared Allen, our former Kansas City Chiefs Viking,
Yep.
should be the actual owner of the
But
sack.
the
The
NFL
sack
took it away.
holder.
He's even tried to. He's tried. He's been.
He's tried, and he has more. I think he has more credit to try for that than the previous guys. But Myles Garrett, he's the one that got it. He got Defensive Player of the Year.
Before we move off that, Myles Garrett and his rookie become the fourth pair of teammates to win offense and defense player of the year in NFL history. They're the fourth. Lawrence Taylor actually did it his rookie year in 1981, where he was defense player of the year and defensive rookie of the year.
LTU Beast.
Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs did it back in 2003. And then obviously Cleveland did it. And then going back to 1974, the Steelers did it with Jack Lambert winning rookie of the year and Joe Green winning defensive player of the year. So
Tanner, do you feel since the Browns have now hired their head coach, they've hired the OC off the Ravens, and the DC for the Browns, who was up for the job, he was like, "Oh, I didn't get the head coaching job. Deuces, I'm out." Do you think him leaving? Do you think that's going to have the Browns defense going to take a step forward or step back, or say, what do you think is going to happen with their DC leaving?
I mean, either way, you got the players to make a star defense. Like, I don't think it's going to affect them all that much.
Honestly, that's a fair assessment because I mean they are studded from top to
The
bottom.
defense has never been a question in Cleveland.
That's very
It's
true.
always been the offensive question mark.
Really, it's been the QB. So, Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith, Njigba.
absolutely.
Yep.
And then MVP we already touched on was Matthew Stafford. His first one, he's the oldest player to win the MVP at 37 years young.
He got it. And it's unfortunate he didn't get to play for a Super Bowl because we saw what Seattle did to New England. I can only imagine what the fucking Rams would have did to New England. I think we would have been looking at 50s.
Probably.
We would have been looking
Honestly,
at the 50s.
Matthew Stafford probably would have been benched in the third. Like, Seattle settled
It would
for
have been like 43 and a half.
Seattle. I think Seattle was 1-5 in the red zone, I do believe.
It wasn't a pretty game from the Super Bowl.
Seattle was 1-4 in the red zone, and I promise you, the Rams would have been at least 3.
Okay, so we were all together for the Super Bowl. We had it on TV. We were drinking, having a good time.
Good
We
job.
were off and on the game. Does it
Proud of them.
surprise you that this was the second most watched Super Bowl of all time?
No, because everyone, you have New England, they turn out. Seattle has a great fan base as well.
12 turnout.
And then the rest of America was like, we don't have the Chiefs, so let's turn out for it. But the Chiefs and the Eagles of last year still hold the record for that.
Yep. So
I just feel sorry for people that had to watch a Spanish halftime show.
it was a lot. It was a lot.
I
Just
know a lot of
know
people
Bad
didn't.
Bunny ran for more yards than New England did. Bad Bunny did run for 124.4
With
yards
the
with that
football.
football. The New England Patriots only ran 79. So
I'm not
like
really surprised that he was able to move
he
like
held
that.
on to that rock. He did not let it go. But
I mean, are you surprised he moved like that? I was surprised he can move like that. Just know there was also an option if you didn't want to watch that. A lot of people walked away, but they showed on the graphics the dip the halftime show created in viewership But there was also on YouTube TV was another great option on Turning Point USA that had Kid Rock and about 3 other artists that drew it in over 6 million live views.
Yep.
And also shout out to like another another option out there going head to head with the powerhouse of the Super Bowl. Like I'm like shout out to them garnering 6 million views during the Super Bowl. Like I'm not here to debate which one was better.
Yeah.
But like shout out to another like company coming and competing with a halftime show of the Super Bowl and getting and on one service on just on YouTube TV. You had to have YouTube TV services to watch it. They garnered 6 million views. To me, that is insane. That during the Super Bowl of which is the mega here of all sports, they were able to pull in over 6 million live views. That's crazy.
It was crazy.
I don't know which one that says more of though. This is on Bad Bunny or Aaron Rodgers, or not Aaron Rodgers, but Roger Goodell, or that a lot of people love America country music. I don't know which one, but it's still a crazy stat. And honestly, I hope more people and more groups come out and they compete with the halftime show and give us more options.
Well, I think if you are the NFL, you need to listen to people maybe who they want to do the halftime show. We've been throwing Taylor Swift's name around for a while. You've been throwing Chris Brown's name around. Who wouldn't want a Chris Brown?
You know what? You brought up Taylor Swift. I'm going to jump to conspiracy theories. So they put out the Super Bowl logo. They put out the Super Bowl logo. That's red and green. Taylor Swift earlier in about midway through 2025 dropped her new album. It is also the same kind of color scheme, red and green. I don't know what that means. I'm getting the Chiefs and Seattle matchup in the Super Bowl. I really don't know. But conspiracy theories, that's what it kind of looks like.
You're not wrong.
I mean, like that's what it looks like. And honestly, a Taylor Swift Super Bowl, throwing Chris Brown.
Tell me, I say put them together. That would not be the greatest halftime show of all time. Come on, Taylor, don't lie. Could you imagine, but like you said, if you were to take another, think about this. If the NFL and other companies come out trying to compete with the NFL, could you imagine if a random company that came to Chris Brown like, hey, do the performance, that would not kill? Potentially,
well, that's what I'm.
Think about
Well, that would depend on the matchup of
whoever was in the Super Bowl. But if you threw somebody
it really didn't matter because at halftime the Seahawks and Patriots game was still close.
Yes,
and people still tuned in to watch Turning Point USA. And I'm just saying, I feel like they got 6 million views with older country singers. I feel like there's other platforms that definitely could potentially compete with.
It don't even have to be Turning Point. You're just saying anybody. Come out here. Let's compete. Anybody. Let's just come out here and really. If you're not willing to give us what we want, somebody else create it, and let's go and compete and really see where the numbers really lie at the end of the day. I respect that. I think
it's about time somebody finally steps up and tries to bully the NFL to keep improving their product.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right. I mean, I don't think you can really beat Dr. Dre and Snoop.
Well, technically, Kendrick Lamar still holds the halftime.
That might have the most maybe the most views. It's hard
the viewership is square, but no, the Dr. Dre one. Come on now, that was great.
That just kind of shows our age.
Maybe not for you, Tanner. You are a baby over here. Yeah, but. Moving off of that, I want to move into the Hall of Fame. And we're going to start with the 2026 Hall of Fame class of guys that were not inducted into the Hall of Fame. We had Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, Eli Manning. And I want to start with Eli Manning because we talked about this earlier in the week.
We don't call him that. That's Tom's dad.
Oh, well, that's fair. Tom's dad did not get into the Super Bowl because somebody came out,
You mean the Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame. Eli did not get into the Hall of Fame, a.k.a. Tom Brady's dad. Eli Manning did not get in because I guess mainstream sports media put out Drew Brees' one title for New Orleans held more weight than Eli Manning's 2 rings that he beat Tom Brady with, which was, quote-unquote, one of the best offenses we've ever seen in the NFL that was undefeated at 18-0. And Eli beat them. So, how does that make you feel that they, quote unquote, were using a ring to determine if somebody got in or not?
Considering Drew Brees was never considered one of the best, never got any accolades outside of comeback player of the year. He never won an MVP. I don't think he got was one Super Bowl ring, and you could make the strong argument that he really didn't win it. He game managed. He was a great game manager to the defense to pick 6 Peyton to seal it. While Eli Manning also had a great defense against one of the best / GOAT quarterbacks ever in Tom Brady. I need to know who all these people are.
Yeah, so
that
real
thinks
quick,
that the media
real quick,
I didn't know how
Drew Brees got in.
Just one ring outweighs Belichick's.
Drew Brees got in there because Katrina. You showed up after Katrina. We have to rebuild New Orleans. So fuck what?
but that was
That's
the only
nothing to
ring he
do.
ever won. It'd be different if he took New
And he
Orleans and went
fumbled
back.
he fumbled it back so many times later in his career to get back to the Super Bowl with a great Saints team. Eli Manning got there twice as a 6th seed from the wild card to beat New England twice, and one of them was undefeated. So I don't like that Drew Brees got in over Eli Manning. If that's what our
To me, it's just tough to say that that ring outweighs Eli's too. He beat Tom Brady in the biggest game,
Eli
not
Manning,
once, twice.
Eli Manning could have the one ring where he beat the undefeated Patriots, and
And it was
that's
still-
Super Bowl worthy.
So
But moving off of that stupidity, Eli will get in at some point. We obviously not first ballot,
then you had Bill Belichick that did not get in.
and that's just crazy work. Like you can't. There's nothing really to say about that. That's just stupidity. Which I also agree with Gronk that when it comes
Got
time,
8 rings,
when it
2
comes
as an assistant, 6 as a
when
head
it comes
coach.
time, no head coach can be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Andy Reid, when it comes time, will probably be the most wins in NFL history.
Still shouldn't get in.
And we'll have 4 or 5
Probably.
Super Bowl rings probably when the time comes.
Which should
and-
be a first ballot, but because
but
of
he can't
Belichick,
be.
he can't be.
And there's no owner that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I was about to bring up, should
either.
owners be in the Hall of Fame? Somebody brought up to me. I posted.
I think so because you have to you have one. Jerry Jones is horribly wrong. He should never be in the Hall of Fame. But
Yeah,
he
Jerry's
is.
in the yeah.
But
He's in there.
but you have to manage your team. You have to pick and pay the correct guys to manage your franchise.
Yeah.
So yes, that's an art in itself, and staying the fuck out of the limelight and only being involved in it when it's called for.
Yeah.
So no, they should be like long-term owners should be like passed down from generation to generations. They should be like the Jones family, not Jerry, but maybe his son should be the Hunt family. I think like the Hunt family, like the Jones family, not an individual. Yeah.
Is this setting up that Tom Brady's not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I swear. He should be, but who knows?
Well, I mean,
But do we have again? They said Bill Belichick didn't get him because of Spygate and Deflategate
well, then Brady can't be though
He
either.
can't be first ballot then either.
because he got suspended for it. Like,
Which then he can't be either. And then again, if Brady doesn't get in first ballot, then Mahomes, when it comes time, he can't be either. You're the King
What
Rodgers.
kind of scale are we using? now?
Because we're setting the precedent for weird shit. But that's not going to happen. When again,
granted, they did this to T.O. T.O. wasn't a first ballot Hall of Fame.
yeah,
either, which
but
was wild.
that's different. He didn't have no scandals. He was just mean to the media, and so the media took it out.
But
on
that's
him
what
when
you
it came
say. Like,
time.
you think people should have a term limit because
They should.
and you need to be revealed, like you said, and we all agree. I need to know who you are, and we need a little bit more
And your
We need a little bit
credentials.
more reasoning of who you pick.
reasoning, because to me, I feel like now when we're voting people in, we are taking not what you did on the football field, is which all that matters. What you did on the field, what you did in between those lines, not what you did outside of the game. Now, granted, that has a little bit of precedent depending on what you did on the outside to a degree, but it's the NFL Hall of Fame, not what I did on the outside Hall of Fame. It's what I did on the field. So, but
Well, we have Larry Fitzgerald that made it.
yep, I'm
And
not mad at that.
but
His
he-
quarterback
well
injury,
deserved.
Jesus Christ.
He was. Adam Vinatieri, the kicker, he
Yep.
got in, which is about time we put some more, elite kickers in there. Nobody of us knows who Roger Craig is, but
He was a
a running
Niners
back.
running back. Only has 8,000 yards rushing, 51 touchdowns.
But you got to throw some of the old timers in there from time to time. And then Tanner, we got Luke Kuechly.
That's crazy. Second
Like-
youngest Hall of Famer ever.
How do you feel about that one?
I mean, every year he played, he was the best linebacker on the field. So I mean,
Even though
He was
only,
all pro. He
even
did
though
win
fi-
Rookie of the Year.
He only played like
7 years.
Seven?
7 years.
7 years. How do you?
Same years as Patrick Willis.
And
Damn
Patrick
near.
Willis got in, so
Patrick Willis got in.
He
so there
kinda-
So,
was already a precedent set for that anyway. So
Oh, there you go then. That means set in stone.
so I'm going to give you some names of the eligibility Hall of Fame class of 2027. You guys say yay or nay.
For first ballot?
For first ballot, Rob Gronkowski,
No.
Patriot.
No.
Can't get in, right?
no,
Well, no, he can because I don't think he was. Yeah, he was part of Spygate.
He was
or,
part-
Deflategate. So no,
No.
Based
he
on
can't
that,
based off of what they put in there. No.
A guy that's been in the limelight, a little bit of controversy from his former teammates, Ben Roethlisberger.
Not after this, no.
I don't think
He got
should,
2 Super Bowls.
I don't. I mean, Drew Brees was a first ballot, so Big Ben has to be a first ballot, even though he's not a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback.
Another guy that's going to come with a little bit of controversy from off the field, Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs of our time, of our generation that we got
The
to win.
last running back that won MVP.
Yeah,
so-
last running back to win MVP. So he's got to
I would
get in,
think he
right?
has
You
to
would
get
think
He has to
he
be
should
first
get
ballot.
in. Richard Sherman,
No,
No.
Cam Newton.
Richard Sherman
Oh, sorry. We're
is
saying Richard.
not even a Hall of Famer. He does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. He was barely considered the 5th best corner ever. He was never a shutdown guy. He talked a lot of shit, which was great.
Only the Crabtree. But
Only
Yeah, he strapped
did.
Crabtree. That was
He
really
did.
about it, but a lot of people strapped Crabtree, so it's not that impressive. Like, if Richard Sherman gets in, it has to be like last chance.
Okay. Cam Newton.
No.
no.
Okay. Antonio Brown. This is interesting because
No.
the off-the-field antics make a
No.
horrible case
No.
for him.
No.
But he was considered one of the best wide receivers in his time.
He was for
He was
like,
up there with Antonio or
like
Julio
3
Jones.
to 4 years. He was, and
The
then
best in the league.
flamed the fuck out
He-
very
he did
quickly.
flame out.
Yeah, I think you got to be like great for like 7.
Alex Mack.
Mm,
No.
Lineman, no.
Andrew Whitworth won the Super Bowl with the Rams.
No.
Lineman.
Fuck it, put him in there. We gotta get love to
Yeah,
old
yeah,
linemen.
okay.
It's hard for him to be good. Put him in
First
there.
ballot? Like,
Yeah, fuck it. You gotta give him some kind of love.
you got
Eric
the ring.
Weddle.
Huh?
Safety. Eric Weddle played for the Chargers for a long
That's not what I
time.
heard.
No.
No.
Okay. Gerald McCoy. He's on the Grind podcast with Gilbert Arenas. Played for Tampa.
Yeah, he won a ring with Tampa. I believe.
I don't think he got a ring with Tampa. I do not
He's
believe.
the
I think he
first
came
one?
after. He came after.
No.
No.
Le'Veon Bell.
No.
I don't think
No. Not even a Hall of Famer.
Joe Hayden, corner for the Brown Steelers.
Walk it
No.
in, baby. Give it to him.
Malcolm Jenkins.
No.
No.
Brandon Brooks.
No.
No.
Another Patriot, Dante Hightower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Ryan.
Well, I think he was there during Spygate.
He was there.
Yeah.
We're going based off of Spygate.
So-
If we're going based off how we're
If George gets
judging,
that tenure with Belichick there, then not first ballot, but second ballot.
and then
Maybe they all
Ryan.
can get in together. Kraft,
Entire-
Shit,
Bill
put all the
Belichick.
Patriots in.
At the
One
same time.
Super Bowl, one Hall of Fame, all New England Patriots, baby.
As a second ballot Hall of.
But that is your 27 Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 27. I'd be very curious to see how they go about some of these names, especially with the president of how we went off this class, especially when
president.
President.
Well, you trying?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I appreciate you guys for letting me try and getting it out there. But
Wrong.
yeah, well. But that is the NFL. We are
Before
off.
we move off the
Oh,
NFL,
go.
because I knew you were going to forget this. This
Oh,
is really cool. In 2026, the
Give it to
NFL will have 9 international games.
Oh yes, the international
We'll
game.
have 3 games in London/England. We'll have 1 game in Madrid, Spain. 1 game for the first time ever in Australia.
Woo!
We'll have a game in Mexico City, bearing the grass. 1 game in Germany. 1 game in Paris, France, which is also new. And then we had games in Brazil, but this time we'll be in Rio, Brazil, which is
That's
a new
gonna be different.
location.
That's gonna be different.
So we
That's
have 9 international games this year, which I'm here for expanding. There's no Canada. That seems like a no-brainer
Expansion teams.
that we jump to
I mean,
Canada. and give
everybody
them
else
one.
has an expansion team there when you think about other major
Right, right.
sports.
I'm not
but the
saying
NFL
expansion. I'm saying why do we not have an international up in Canada? Why not we giving the Crown Royal, the maple syrup country some love? Give them a
That's fair.
game. We're giving 3 over to England and
That's
the soccer world of it all. We can't give the hockey world a football game.
You're not
They
wrong.
have the Canadian League for football. We can't give them one.
You're not wrong. You're not
I mean,
wrong.
we make
But
it
we're
even
getting 9
team.
international games.
I mean, I feel like we could send some New York.
I just
teams up
feel like
there.
if those 9 international games, the Jags are going to be located at most of them.
Most of those,
I
yeah.
think
Because they always seem to be a
Most of the
part
time
of
they
it.
have 2 in England.
Like, they
I feel
always
sorry for
Yeah,
England
England.
that they just get them. They're
I
embarrassed.
feel bad for international games because they're becoming Jags fans and they have no idea that's not the fans you want to be a
I
part
just
of.
love watching like international games, and you just see a bunch of just random ass.
Especially
jerseys.
Germany when they have them big ass beers that they hold over their boy. Let me tell you
I just
something.
know you be eating them big old bratwursts.
Tanner
big
would be
old.
excited. You'd be like,
You eat them for the texture. We all know, Jacob.
But before we move off the NFL, we do have some news I want to talk about. Brandon doesn't care about this guy, thinks he's overrated, overpaid. Max Crosby says he's done with the Raiders, don't want to play there no more. What do you think about that? Where do you think he should go? Like
I mean,
who?
he should have learned that
You-
years ago. but-
Well, you have people out here throwing some mega draft capital to go get him that you and I have talked about, first, second round picks. And you don't think he's worth all that. You think he's a little bit overrated, is not as dominant as people maybe put out there on paper.
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you. Give it to me. Give it.
You go ahead and you go ahead and you go, Tanner, because apparently, like, my opinion was already put out there how I feel about him. How do
I
you-
mean, he's overrated. He's the tiny little star over there in fucking Las Vegas.
People have him linked to Dallas, and like I don't
Jerry
know.
likes to overpay for
No,
shit.
he's already paid, so it's not like. But you're gonna have to give up some draft capital for him. But it seems out there that he wants out. He doesn't want to be part of the Raiders no more. Obviously, after what they did to him, they shut him down, didn't let him play, and whatnot. There was that big old deal. So
Well, considering for his career,
give it to. Oh, here we go.
he has 69 and a half sacks, 11 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 1 pick for 19 yards.
Hell yeah.
And for total, he has 439 total tackles and 278 solo tackles.
Okay.
I'm confused on where this is considered
Elite.
elite.
Okay.
Granted, he had 10 sacks this year, but again, like, I'm confused on where he. My only problem with that is everyone's trying to give up the guy that just got traded from the Cowboys, Michael Parsons.
They want Michael Parsons.
They're trying to say that he deserves that kind of draft capital to require him. And that's not
Michael
even.
Parsons is a game ranker. Like,
That's the big difference. Is Matt Crosby will get you some stats.
You literally saw that this year when he was on Green Bay. He was a game
as
wreck.
soon as he went out,
Green Bay went. The defense went down. They were a top. They were a bottom 10 defense when Michael Parsons went out. That's my problem. Is like Max Crosby is a late first round pick trade. That is
I don't
it.
think he affects the game as much as some of those big names.
He doesn't like. I personally feel this might come off a little biased that Chris Jones at his age is more of a game wrecker than Max Crosby is.
And that's taking the bias out.
Max Crosby disappears and he never affects games. He might get a sack. You get a sack in the first, second quarter. That doesn't
I need
change.
you in the
I need
fourth.
you in crunch time, and you don't ever show up in crunch
I need you
time.
the 2-minute drill. I need you to show up.
And maybe that might change when games actually matter because he's never in games that do matter.
That's fair.
But like, I mean,
Been with the Raiders.
whoever's requiring him was getting a guy with 70 sacks.
Now, last thing we need to talk about in the NFL before we move on. This is going to make Philadelphia fans unhappy. This is making Brandon very happy because he predicted this 2 years ago. But the highly respected Eagles offensive line coach Jeff Sutland is leaving the team. And this is a big deal because he has been a big major part for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's starting to seem that the vision that Brandon planted 2 years ago is starting to come true. See that smile, everybody? It's coming true.
I did.
What do you think about the Philadelphia Eagles going into the offseason and everything? Because Brandon's not really going to give his pick because he's already stated he thinks Nick Sirianni's about to be gone. Hurt's going to be traded. A.J. Brown gone. Saquon's going to be screaming, help me, get me out of here. Where do you see going with this Eagles team?
After everything they've lost as far as coaching, they got to blow it up. Like, they have to.
Well,
Because there's nobody to keep.
Well, we've talked about already. Obviously, you haven't been a part on here. We talked about how they were willing to give up everything to the OC, give Nick Sirianni out there no say as a head coach. And he's supposed to be an OC to give that. I don't know where that lies currently with the new OC they hired. You lose a respected guy in the organization that players and everything loved. Friction and turmoil with your head coach screaming and yelling at everybody. A.J. Brown don't want to be there. Hurts being
Their head coach anyway.
no, I don't
That's a
think.
huge problem. They targeted 3 top premier OCs. They're like, we'll give you full reign, and they
Full
still
access. You got
and
everything.
they-
to say.
still chose to go elsewhere,
Well-
Tanner. And the head coach can't do anything but yell at fans, yell at A.J. Brown, and call timeouts and make absurd gestures. And
We
vulgar
saw
to
that
the
he had
media.
no say when we were watching him. I think in a playoff game, they called a timeout in crunch time to call a play, and Nick Sirianni just stood there and didn't say nothing. Everybody's standing around like looking and waiting for something. He's just like, "What are y'all gonna say?"
I'm just not believe if they didn't win the Super Bowl a couple years ago, he would have been gone already.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I disagree with the take that Jalen Hurts will be gone. Nick Sirianni will be gone after this year.
If-
Maybe fired halfway through. And they might not even be playing horribly. They might be around 500, but I can see Nick Sirianni being moved. Like, what is he giving you? Nothing.
He's not a leader of men that you.
Well, we
need.
clearly all know that.
Yeah, yes.
And I think A.J. Brown will be moved in this offseason. They will take the dead cap hit on him, and they'll probably get, I don't know, a 1 or a couple 2s for him. But the move off of him would change the dynamic I think again this
The
last
fact that
season.
the Eagles haven't done that already is crazy to me. Knowing that you've seen,
all
it's
the
seen
issues.
all the
Well,
issues.
the offseason is just now kicked off. Everybody now has their head coaches and GMs are now all in place. So it takes time to get the correct offer. And I don't necessarily, moving him is not the smart move because you keep him on the book for $23 million, or you move him and you take a
Yeah,
$43
that's
million
fair.
dead cap hit. That's a big chunk to eat
Are
over
they
2
willing to
years.
get rid of all the drama for that 40+ billion?
Pretty much, like, is the capital worth it? Not really. If you have the correct OC, we've now seen when Nick Sirianni hires the OCs. Every year they've had down offense, Nick Sirianni has hired the OC.
When the GMs
who's
came
been
in,
bad.
they've been solid. So
GM/owner.
Yeah.
Again, that's why I think owners deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But I think Nick Sirianni, this is his last year. I think the Commanders will take a step forward. The Giants will take a step forward this year. And the Eagles will be fighting for their lives. And I think Nick Sirianni is going to blow up. And he will be gone. I think the core and everybody will still be there going into 2027.
AJ Brown stays on Philadelphia.
No.
Okay.
Not even remotely.
Where do you think
But-
he lands?
New England.
I
think the
see
Bills.
New England.
I have
I
to
see
say
New
that too, and I hate
think
to agree
Buffalo.
with it. I
I think Buffalo.
just
I think
see
it's New
Breeze-
England,
Mike
Buffalo, and I hate to say potentially the Denver Broncos.
Good.
Potentially.
He's not going to do much
But,
there in Broncos.
like we stated, the NFL season's over. Boo-hoo. It's unfortunate. We got to wait a little bit. But that does not mean football talk's completely over here on Buzz Buzz. We will continue in small spurts because, like, we always got to continue talking about football and stuff like that. But congratulations to Seattle Seahawks on getting their lick back 12 years later against the New England Patriots.
They ran the damn ball.
They ran the
definitely
damn ball.
ran
They
the
ran
damn
the damn ball. But it was we can say it was an unprecedented NFL season this year. It was very weird. It was different. It gave you not goosebumps, but it gave you like, what the fuck's going on around here?
There was a lot of teams that
Lot
I
of-
just couldn't understand how they
Panthers
were
being
winning.
one of them.
The
Panthers
Bears,
play the best ball against the hardest team. I tell you what.
Panthers, the Bears, Tampa. the
Christian
Jets.
McCaffrey stayed healthy, but nobody else could on the Niners.
Hey, you know what?
That power-
Now,
Off to the
power
offseason.
plant.
off to the offseason,
Shit.
which we'll keep you updated on that and stuff like that. Moving on to college sports center. I'm not going to ask Brandon this because Brandon and I have already gone rounds on this. We've stated our personal opinions. What do you think should be a term limit on how long a player can stay in college? Is it one redshirt season, 6 years total? We have guys coming back for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. We have a linebacker that's at Montana coming back for 9 years. How does that make where do
I
you
think it should be 5.
5 years total? You get one red shirt, 5 years total, no
Yeah.
more.
Like,
Even
why
with
are we keeping players in here who are like 29 years old?
Like Brandon's got years of eligibility. He can go back to college right
I'm
now.
about to sell mine. But that's not-
How much is our eligibility worth? NCAA, how much is our eligibility worth here? 100,000 a year?
I'd sell for like $5,000 a year.
Yeah, honestly, I would, man.
What about injury? Do you think injury should be taken into any account?
I mean, the college is college. Like, it should just be the 5.
Maybe they should have to stay enrolled in classes. Like you
Yeah,
should always
I mean-
have to be going to class.
Because Carson Beck literally came up and said, I graduated 2 years ago. I don't have no.
He's
class."
like, I have 2 degrees. Like I'm not doing anything now.
Just sitting
Like
there
that-
chilling in the dorm. Like,
I'm not even talking about, and I'm talking about how long can a player legitimately stay in college before it's like, okay, like you gotta go. Is it 5? Like we got guys staying anywhere between 6
He
and
said
9
5.
years. No, I'm just saying that's what I'm saying.
Well,
That's
saying, who else
I'm
has
taking
been
out the
like
NIL.
25?
Like I'm taking that out of the
27 when he left.
Yeah.
He said 5. Tanner said 5.
5. So 5 years, one red shirt year. That's
Yeah.
it. So no matter where you use that red shirt year, 5 years total.
I think
in and out of
I got a
college.
problem with starting quarterbacks in college being older than Joe Burrow. Okay, I got a problem.
I think a really solid number is 6. You get 1 red shirt and 1 medical,
One. Okay,
and that's it.
I could rock with that. I rock with yours, but I rock with that too because you get 1 injury year, 1 red shirt year. After that, you're done. So 6 years total, and then you're bounced out.
When I mean medical, like you it has to be.
Legitimately have to be hurt, right?
I think all of them are legitimate, but I mean like you broke your leg, you tore your ACL, your Achilles. Like it has to be a significant, actually season-ending career.
Do we put games on that, like to a game extent?
Well, the red shirt is 4 games.
4 games. Okay, so there
But
we
like
go.
the medical one could happen in the bowl game, and you can get that extra year
That's fair.
because you can't help because then you're going to miss the whole next season basically. So medical is no matter what you get 1 if you are a season-ending
That's
injury.
fair. But I just wanted to ask Tanner because we haven't had you on here for that question, and I agree. I think 5-6 years, I think is a very precedented year. Brandon's over here talking some shit, but moving on from that, off of football, let's get into the NBA world here, where it's kind of where we're going to be living for a little bit, and in the college basketball world too, but we're not quite there yet. But NBA world trade deadline passed. Sorry, we did not get to talk about that to you guys. We had some personal things that came up that prevented us from being able to come back on here and talk about it, which we're not ready to reveal those things yet in a later time. But the NBA trade deadline has passed and gone, and we now have Trae Young and AD on the Washington Wizards.
Let's not say on.
Well, no, well, they are a part of the organization, but they are not playing this year. AD's already been ruled out for the season. Trae Young has not been ruled out, but they've already came out and pretty much said he's not really gonna play. How does that make you feel, Brandon? That the Wizards got two potential Hall of Fame players and they're not going to play. And we're not even at the halfway point yet, because technically the halfway point is tomorrow.
To be fair, though, AD was going to get hurt again anyway.
Well, I think AD fucked himself by not actually being available for Dallas. He's upset that he got traded there.
But it's his own fault, right, is what you're saying?
It's his own fault. Like, he was hurt for a majority of his season.
Him and Kyrie played 24 minutes together. That was it.
I have the NBA has a big issue with tanking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Big issue of not playing guys and labeling them hurt. Trae Young was basically ready to go when he got traded there, and now all of a sudden, he's really not going to play.
Yeah, this all comes back to the argument about tanking.
Well, pretty much because the Wizards are trying to protect one of their draft picks
that they didn't have to give up to get any of these players.
Well, they're trying to keep it within a certain portion of the lottery.
Yep,
so they can keep. And again, that does come back to trying to keep your picks and via tanking. I don't like it. I don't. I understand how you're going to acquire AD, who's been playing, but then like he can't play. Like to me, that's weird. And also to me, it's hella weird that Dallas has a young upcoming potential star in Cooper Flag. You have Kyrie coming off his injury, and you have obviously AD. Let's move AD for draft picks, basically.
Yeah. We don't move Clay or cut him or waive him. We don't trade Kyrie. So, like, what
you had a
now we have
you had a big three down to just a Cooper Flag.
We have a former owner trying to be the owner again.
Yeah, Cuba's trying to buy back.
Cuba trying to buy back. So, what the hell is going on here in Dallas? Like, what is
telling me?
Yeah, we know you a little upset right now. We as a Dallas Mavericks fan.
What would you? So, do you consider the trading AD? Is that what you really got for Luka, or you really got AD and one first round pick?
I don't know how we got one first round pick for Luka. That's what I want to know.
But you got more for AD?
Yeah. Like, I don't understand the
logic. But that's the thing, though. How are we going to try to flip the narrative?
Where do you see the Mavs going? So you got rid of AD, you got Kyrie, Clay's on expiring. Where would you like to see this?
We're going for some kind of rebuild now.
Around Cooper Flag?
Yeah. Because clearly it's like, what else are you going to do? You're going to bring Kyrie back on the wrist? He's going to hurt himself again? Probably not. Not even.
I was shocked that they didn't move Kyrie.
Do you see Kyrie playing at all this year now?
No, I don't see it.
Think they're going to keep him shut down?
Yeah.
Well, I think you have to. Like, what do you bring him back for? Because now you're trying to protect your own pick to build somebody else with Cooper Flag to get a need.
What, a best case scenario? You make the play in? Like, what?
I don't even think they're going to get that, to be honest, to keep that a complete buck with you. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Dallas Mavericks are currently sitting. Give me a second here. Well,
you do realize
they're 12th. So
they
don't
have
close.
any risk of losing their pick this year. They actually own their own pick.
Oh, they own their own
and they
pick.
own a second, and they own another first round pick this year from OKC.
Clearly, OKC pick ain't gonna be worth much.
Well, no.
the NBA's got to figure out something. Now we're talking about. Let's stay on the top. So it broke earlier today or late last night that the Adam Silver and the NBA is discussing creating a tournament among lottery teams to determine draft order instead of, picking a number ball and or whatever to try to stop tanking. How do we hear that idea? We'll talk about that. But what is the right idea to stop this? Like, what do you think is the right idea?
Well, you already said it. That's a horrible idea. I don't want another fucking tournament.
Yeah, no, we don't need no fucking
tournament. Then the mid-season tournament, or really like December tournament, is good enough.
It gets to the point where like you should just make every bottom tier team have the same percentage chance getting the number one pick anyway.
That's the way to go about it. I also like the idea of once you're eliminated, contention from the playoffs, that every game that you win increases your chances to have a top 3 pick. I think that's a better route to go versus okay, well, y'all
If
shit
you
fuck.
lose, we get a better opportunity. No, we need to win to have a better opportunity. Is that
No,
what you're
dummy,
saying?
you need to win games to have a better opportunity at the top 3 pick.
Well, I'm saying you said when you're eliminated from the playoffs.
Right, you need to win.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I
Instead of
said.
keep losing, I'm saying so instead of keep losing to have a better chance, we need now to win the games to have a better opportunity.
That's what I said.
Okay.
The more games you win, the more points you get towards a higher percentage of getting the number 1, number 2, number 3 overall pick. Because if everyone's tanking, which means you're losing. So if I'm incentivizing you with a higher percentage of winning games, it's going to force franchises that are already knocked out of the playoffs / the play-in to keep trying to fight and win games so they have a better chance to have the number 1 overall pick. That's winning games. Win games, higher percentage. Lose more games, lower percentage. And I'm here for that.
That's fair. I can respect that. What do you think, Tanner? What do you think is the right thing to do? There's lots of people out here talking about getting rid of how they do the NBA draft, completely get rid of that entire and find something new to do. Now, granted,
Like what though?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know where you'd go with that. That's just ideas that have been thrown out there.
I think the ping pong ball is fun. I like my idea. I don't know about you guys, but I like my idea.
No, I respect that idea. I like that because we got to come up with something because we got the Jazz have already been fined because OKC is trying to get their pick and have a lottery pick. They got fined $500,000 for resting their starters in the fourth quarter and
They
not
still
playing.
won.
Pacers have also been fined as they
They
did still win. So it's a lot going on in the NBA right now with the product and teams. Say, granted, it's because there's 13 true freshmen in this upcoming NBA draft that could potentially change your franchise. Potentially,
It doesn't even matter what's coming into this draft. Every team tries to protect or tank to keep their first round picks that they've traded away in future years. And I feel like the NBA has to do something to stop tanking. And I feel like you have to incentivize winning. And by winning, you have a higher chance of getting a better pick. I think that's really about the only route you can go. I don't want no fucking tournament. No one's going to turn in and watch it, so that's going to be a bust anyway.
yeah, I don't know why
No one's gonna watch
I don't know why we're
going
going to try to create a
The
tournament.
worst teams go out and they only get the playoffs. It takes the semifinals anyways for people to turn into the playoffs anyways.
So,
The product's already dipping for the NBA. We don't need another shit product.
and then we also the big, I guess the biggest name that was really moved during the NBA trade deadline was probably Jaren Jackson Jr. He was the biggest name, probably moved during the trade deadline. He was moved to Utah. Utah did not move Ja Morant. Were we surprised that Ja did not get moved? There was offers out there for Ja, but
The
nobody.
Grizzlies didn't move Ja.
Yeah, the Grizzlies didn't move Ja.
And no, because they wanted too much for a guy that can't stay healthy, so you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, you're trading for a high risk player to not play. Like,
Were we at all surprised that Giannis didn't get moved during the trade deadline?
No.
Was that a shocker? So you say no.
The
I was
fact,
a little shocked.
the fact
to be
that
honest.
the only team that he was really linked to was the Warriors, no, overall no, because Giannis didn't come out and demand it straight out. It was all done trying to behind the scenes.
He'll just get moved in the offseason.
And he'll lose a year of his old career to nothing to the Bucks. He might not even play again this year for
But
the
it's
Bucks.
seeming that he might get shut down for this.
And-
Probably gonna shut
And so he'll get moved in this offseason, but which is unfortunate for all Warriors fans and Curry fans because he can no longer really land on the Warriors because they traded away the player assets and some of the draft capital assets they had to acquire Porzingis, who the Warriors also were in on Jaren Jackson, but they turned their focus on Giannis and completely whiffed and for whatever reason thought an injured, unhealthy Porzingis was a good idea.
Who's always sick. Dude's always sick.
He's always on the bench.
Well,
I think the winners of the whole trade was the Celtics. I think the Boston Celtics.
getting Valanciunas was great.
I think was the best move.
Why do you well then in the OKC getting Jared McCann from the Sixers finesse the Sixers?
That's definitely a hellishly upside trade for OKC. Give up nothing.
A guy that was going to be sixth man of the year before he got hurt, averaging 18 a game, and now he was just starting to ball out. And you
Pretty
get
much
him.
bringing in a spark plug.
Rich get rich.
Yeah, the rich get richer.
Pretty much.
So
I think this really just leads to OKC getting Giannis in the offseason.
oh boy,
They're
I swear
going
to
to
God.
have the assets. They're going to have the players and the draft capital to go get a Giannis to pair with SGA. I move a Chet, J-Dub, and a couple ones. Shit, that ain't nothing to my fucking draft horde in OKC.
Try to get you a dynasty going in Oklahoma.
That's a dynasty there for a good. I mean, I think getting Giannis extends that window a good 3 to 4 years.
Not wrong.
Considering the next years when a lot of those big money contracts start hitting,
Mhm.
you got all that young core. Why not?
I want to talk about Victor Wembanyama for just a second. So, San Antonio Spurs are currently sitting in the second seed in the Western Conference, just 4 games behind. Well, depending on how you look at 4 or 2 games behind the
it's
Oklahoma
3.
City. It's 3 games. 3 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they've been able to show they have that. But Victor Wembanyama just had a career night against the Lakers a couple nights ago where nobody played, pretty much set the whole game, got to rest. And Victor now has passed Tim Duncan in the most 40-point games in Spurs history. He did that already in year 3.
Yep.
Year 3, which is
3.
crazy. Not diminishing Tim Duncan. But this is what Robert Horry had to say about Victor Wembanyama in the MVP talks. He's not even in my top 5. He's too inconsistent for me. I think we're trying to appoint him as the next great too fast. Don't get me wrong. The kid is absolutely fantastic. But he ain't no LeBron James. He ain't no Kobe Bryant. I do have a vote. How does that make you feel? Whoever wants to jump in, how does that make you feel when you hear Robert Horry say something like that about? I'm confused on the inconsistency part. But
What do you mean inconsistency? I 100% agree with the man. He is inconsistent. Sometimes he's allegedly bucket. No one's talking about the defense. He's talking about offensively. He's either a great bucket getter or he's a little inconsistent on the offensive part. He doesn't always show up. This is his 3rd year. Nobody should be anointing him anything special or a top great at all yet. You have to earn it in the NBA, and he hasn't earned shit. He has earned no awards. He's not made any playoff runs. He's not proved anything outside the fact that he is a freak
well, he
of
would
nature.
if we didn't have the 65-game rule.
Hey, look at that. Injuries again makes him inconsistent, and he's had hella inconsistent years. Every year he's been shut down because of injuries, whether it's he's got an injury or last year, unfortunately, it was blood clots. I'm not dishing Victor Wembanyama. I think he will be potentially a freak that will be able to be put up there in the big men of the Shaqs and the Jokers and the Kareem. But until he can stay consistently uninjured and he be consistently a bucket from all 3 levels, like, he's not wrong.
Until you show me something in a playoff run, I'm not going to anoint you for anything.
Okay.
SJ had to show it. Luka had to show it in the playoffs.
Well, we
You
still
gotta show
diss
it.
Luka. Luka gets dissed every time we turn
Well,
around.
that's
We're talking about
defense.
what, 2019? Is that what it was?
No, it was like 3 years ago. He made a run with the Mavs.
22, right?
Literally went to the finals. Next year, got traded because he didn't play
Led
defense.
every statistical category.
Offensively, he got traded.
Offense and defensively.
Yeah.
And got traded.
It was LeBron-esque on the Cavs. So, but no, like, I don't disagree with anything he takes. You got to be more consistent offensively, and you have to, and like, he's not going to shut down. I mean, he should theoretically be able to shut down the next, like, the second best. If it's a big man, a 6, 8, 9 plus, Wembanyama should be that dude taking that challenge. He can get beat and still get you.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, he
So where do
shoots
you
like
want to
KD.
see him be better at to be more consistent?
Offensively,
Consistent.
from the paint, from the mid range to outside, to be able to facilitate the offense, the whole shebang. Defensively, there's no question.
But this year, he's having career numbers across the board offensively.
That's great, but I need to see it consistently because there's games in and games out where he does dip down, where he's not the leading guy. He needs to show that he can be the guy every single game to be anointed what we all want to anoint him as. Like, I'm not discrediting what he will probably be, but what he said is not wrong. And to really put all those things to bed, the same way Sam Darnold had to make a run, 6 games, proved it. I need a prove it run. And this year he's going to have a prove it run being the 2nd seed.
So
Got to do it on the biggest stage, and the regular season ain't proving shit. Because
but that's tough because we anointed James Harden and he never really. It was just average 40 points and then choked in the playoffs.
That's kind of crazy. You think of James Harden in comparison to Victor Wembanyama is the same thing.
But we never James Harden never. What did James Harden put? I'm complaining like comparing them offensively, inconsistent, very inconsistent.
James Harden has never been inconsistent in the regular season.
But inconsistent in the playoffs.
You're 100% correct.
But that matters more.
It
So if
100%
Victor
does.
goes to the playoffs and drops, whatever, and then
I'm confused on your debate. I'm trying to debate you, but I really don't understand what you're saying because
so
James
for Tim
Harden's-
Duncan, he was basically 18 point per game score. So Tony, Ginobili, and other guys led in other statistical categories when it came.
Okay, that's great. I'm not really understanding. Wembanyama's never been to the playoffs. Me and Tanner want to see him in the playoffs.
Well,
James
you're going to
Harden,
see him in the playoffs this year.
We
That's-
gotta wait till we see something.
That's
But he's gonna be in the playoffs
exactly
this
what I just said. He's going to probably be the second seed. We're going to see what kind of run he can put on with the Spurs this year. We all know James Harden's inconsistent, and that's why we don't like the Cavs move. He's not going to show up in the playoffs. So I don't understand.
Well, I'm saying from a basketball standpoint, you want to see what he can do just in a playoff run. You don't care about the regular season.
I already saw what he can do.
He's already gonna make the playoffs anyway. So what?
I mean, he's already
Well, we already
breaking
know
records.
We
in
already
3
know
years.
what that's okay.
we
That's
already know what he brings to the court.
we already know he's a freak in the regular
But
season.
you're saying he's inconsistent. So if you know what he brings to the court, then how's he inconsistent?
We could, that's the same because we know what he potentially can be, but he's still inconsistent in the regular season, not being able to bring it every night. Whether or not he's going to be injured or healthy, you don't know because he can't stay healthy. He's proven that every year he's been in the league. Even this year, he's
Well,
been
this year-
injured. No, he's been injured this year.
But he's played
gotten
through
hurt.
some injuries this year.
That-
He's been more available this year than any other year he's been in the league.
Well, really, he was more available last year into the blood clots.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. Your James Harden comparison is just kind of trashing a young Victor Wembanyama because he's never had a chance to show if his game can translate to the playoffs. Because everything gets intensified in the playoffs. They play real defense in the playoffs. Calls get let go. The whistle's a little bit looser. So we don't know.
No, not really. We saw that with SGA. The whistle's more intensified in the playoffs.
All right. Well, that's your opinion versus mine on that.
What anything you want to add on that?
I'm just waiting to see what he does in the playoffs.
Thank you. Like, pretty much. Like, he's inconsistent.
But we
on
anoint
offense.
James Harden as a superstar in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he's not. That's what I'm saying about Victor.
Absolutely, James Harden is inconsistent, but he's a great sixth man for OKC, and he's a great third option.
For Cleveland.
Go Cleveland.
Well, he's the
We'll see.
starting point guard for Cleveland now.
Well, then obviously you have Donovan Mitchell there. You have Jared Allen there that can be a bucket to step in.
He's gonna merge with Donovan
No,
Mitchell
he ain't
well.
going to do shit.
Well, that was
Like,
the next big guy that got moved.
well,
was
I
James
don't,
Harden
that's why I
got-
don't really understand the James Harden thing. Like everybody knows James Harden he
Well,
sucks in the playoffs.
I said that for James Harden to go to a team to compete for championship, he had to be your fourth best option
well, that's
on a team.
crazy considering he's getting paid max money.
Yeah.
Well, everybody getting paid max money now.
I think James Harden's best success can be with Cleveland because he can be a third option as behind Mobley.
Well, that's what I'm
behind
saying.
Mitchell.
He can't be your second option on a team. He's got to be third, fourth option.
No,
when
he
it
can
comes
be
to-
your second. We saw that with the Nets, with KD, with Kyrie. Kyrie went down, and Harden did great behind KD. But then obviously the injuries happened. The toe happened on the line against Milwaukee, and the rest is history. So really being the second fiddle to Mitchell / 2A,
Mobley.
2B behind Mobley is a great fit for Harden. And honestly, the more I thought about it, I like that move for the Cavs because Darius Garland has not been able to stay healthy
No,
the past
he's-
2 years.
No.
I don't really like giving up a pick, but it was a second, so I don't mind it. I don't know what the Clippers are doing with even moving Zubac,
That was a weird flex, too.
but
Yeah,
like
them
really,
Pacers.
the Cavs made a great addition to try to make a playoff run against a very weak, unpredictable East.
I'd say the only competition is what? Boston?
Boston and the,
The
and the
Knicks.
Pistons. Nah, the Pistons.
I mean, it's
I
going to
mean,
be.
Cleveland got the bigs to beat the shit out of Cat, and Cat's going to get scared and run to the 3-point line anyways.
I think the hottest team in the East right now, outside of the top, is probably the Hornets. Man, they've just been tearing it
I
up.
mean, you got to give them a little bit of credit.
You got
I
to
mean,
give them a little bit. I don't know what the fuck happened down there, but they've been tearing it up. I'll be very curious to see what the East looks like this year because who would have pictured Boston number 2 seed? Like
Me.
Everyone?
Me? What do you mean that roster?
Well,
was
no, I'm
stout?
saying like we all as a group.
Well, not
like,
the media. They're
not the media. They thought Boston was going to be down there where
so like
the
Jaylen
Wizards
Brown
and Pacers
MVP,
were.
Jaylen Brown's MVP, right?
He's my front runner. He's 1A, 1-2,
Like
1B,
He needs
1A.
an MVP for that hairline, but it's not really.
look, he just needs to let it go and
Let
quit.
it go. Let it go, bro. Let
Quit
it
having
go.
that sharp on it. But honestly, so like Tanner, what do the Celtics do, whether or not Tatum comes back this year or not? If Jaylen Brown brings in a regular season MVP, so he will have all the big accolades that you would need.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a dunk, and he competed in the dunk contest, didn't win it though. But what do the Celtics do going into the offseason? They shitted a shit ton of money this year to get under the luxury cap there, or the penalties. Going into the offseason, if Tatum to get hurt, Brown was going to get moved, but Tatum tore his Achilles. What do you go into a healthy offseason in 2026 offseason with Tatum and Brown, with Brown bringing home an MVP?
I feel like you got to keep Brown and shop Tatum.
Fuck
Because
yes.
Brown has proven he can stay healthy and carry a team at that point.
We love you, Tanner.
A lesser team, you could say.
Yeah.
A lesser team than what Brown and Tatum both had together.
Together.
But even the voters that we want to all be exposed to picked Brown for Eastern Conference MVP and Finals MVP.
I'd say they were both on the court for that finals run, and Brown was statistically way better.
Statistically, and he showed his presence offense and defensively. I mean, he locked the number one dude up. He was on Luka, and didn't necessarily shut him down.
You have to high Tatum defensively. He was hitting the corner in those finals.
That's him and Tuki. We put him in the corner.
Whoa!
Put baby in the corner.
But like I said, NBA thing there as we're at the All-Star breaks. We're at the halfway point, so now the NBA season will start to heat up a little bit more. But we appreciate you guys sticking with us, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Tanner, for coming on.
No, Tanner!